What are the consequences of not following one's Dharma? By Dave Marsland of Cardiff Theosophical Society. The concept of Dharma, rooted in ancient Indian philosophy and religious traditions such as Hinduism, Buddhism and Jainism, represents a fundamental principle that guides moral conduct, duty and righteousness. At its core, Dharma refers to the ethical obligations and responsibilities that an individual must adhere to in order to maintain harmony within oneself and society. The consequences of not following one's Dharma are multifaceted, impacting not only the individual but also the broader social and cosmic order. From an ethical standpoint, failing to follow one's Dharma often results in moral dissonance and inner conflict. Dharma is essentially a code of conduct that aligns with universal principles of justice and truth. When individuals deviate from their prescribed duties, whether familial roles, social responsibilities or personal virtues, they risk engaging in actions considered unethical or harmful. Such deviation can lead to feelings of guilt or shame as the individual becomes aware of their failure to uphold moral standards. For example, neglecting one's duties as a parent or citizen disrupts social cohesion and breeds distrust among community members. Therefore, on a micro level, ignoring Dharma undermines an individual's integrity, while on a macro level, it threatens collective societal welfare. Psychologically speaking, disregarding one's Dharma may cause significant mental turmoil. According to classical texts like the Bhagavad Gita, adherence to one's svadharma, personal duty, fosters clarity of purpose and psychological stability. Conversely, abandoning this path can lead to confusion about identity and purpose in life. Individuals who ignore their intrinsic roles often experience anxiety stemming from uncertainty about right action versus selfish desires or societal pressures. This internal conflict may manifest as stress disorders or existential crises, where individuals question their meaning in life. Empirical studies within contemporary psychology support this notion by suggesting that living authentically, according to deeply held values, promotes mental well-being, whereas value-incongruent behaviour correlates with depression and anxiety symptoms. Socially speaking, neglecting one's Dharma disrupts established roles critical for maintaining order within communities. In traditional societies, where occupational duties were clearly demarcated, such as those described by the Varna system, the abandonment of assigned roles could cause dysfunction within economic systems and familial structures essential for survival and prosperity. Modern parallels exist wherein professionals shirking ethical responsibilities damage institutional trust. For instance, medical malpractice violates both professional codes, a form of modern Dharma, and public confidence in healthcare systems at large. Furthermore, widespread failure to fulfill civic duties like voting or taxation undermines democratic governance mechanisms designed around reciprocal obligations between citizens and state institutions. On a spiritual level, rooted in Hindu philosophy particularly, but also relevant across Dharmic traditions more broadly, the failure to follow one's Dharma carries karmic repercussions affecting future incarnations or spiritual progress toward liberation, moksha. Karma theory posits that actions contrary to Dharma accumulate negative karma which binds individuals further into samsara, the cycle of birth, death, rebirth, characterized by suffering. Hence, non-compliance with one's Dharma perpetuates ignorance, avidya, obstructing enlightenment by generating obstacles on the soul's journey towards self-realization. Thus, spiritually neglecting Dharma results not merely in temporal suffering, but eternal consequences transcending present existence. In conclusion, the consequences of not following one's Dharma are profound across multiple dimensions. Ethically compromising personal integrity, psychologically inducing inner conflict, socially destabilizing communal harmony, spiritually hindering liberation from cyclical suffering. The doctrine underscores how individual responsibility extends beyond personal preference into universal interconnectedness, requiring adherence for holistic well-being. Therefore, understanding Dharma is crucial not only as philosophical insight, but also as a practical guidepost ensuring balance between self-interest, societal good and cosmic order. Failure therein invites discord internally, externally and metaphysically, underscoring why upholding Dharma remains a central tenet across Dharmic worldviews.